Hello again, this is Tim Moore with Lamb Lion Ministries. I'd like to talk to you today about a lesson we can gain from this current coronavirus pandemic. A lot of people are looking for spiritual insight, even in the midst of all the trouble that we're experiencing. But I want to draw your attention to one thing that goes under-noticed, but is very important and is revealing about a great spiritual truth. One of the reasons we're experiencing this great pandemic is because initially the truth was concealed by the Chinese Communist government. As a matter of fact, they continue to deceive the world, I believe, through the numbers of victims that they're reporting, through the widespread nature of the pandemic, even in their own country. And yet the Chinese Communist Party are not alone in this tendency. As a matter of fact, every autocratic government tries to withhold the truth or sometimes perpetuate a great lie. That's happened throughout history, and it's happened even in recent times. You can think about the Chernobyl nuclear disaster that happened in the former Soviet Union. For a period of days, they didn't even want to admit that there had been a catastrophe. Looking back to one of Israel's glorious victories in 1967, even though they had decimated the Egyptian Air Force, the Egyptian president refused to tell even his allies that they had suffered a mighty defeat by the Israelis. That caused even greater loss of life, including within his allies. We've seen the propensity to lie happen over and over again in government settings. And so really that should not surprise us. Contrast that with what Jesus had to say in John chapter 8. Jesus said, "I am the light of the world, and he who follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." And he goes on to tell his listeners then and to say to us today that if you continue in my word, then you truly are disciples of mine, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. That's in John chapter 8, verse 31 and 32. But then to make a great contrast with the truth that Jesus himself represents, he told us about the source of all lies and the deceit that runs rampant in our world. In John, again, chapter 8, verse 44, he speaks of Satan, the devil, and he says that he was a murderer and from the beginning and does not stand in the truth because there is no truth in him. Whenever he speaks a lie because that is from his own nature, for he is a liar and the father of lies. So right now, even as we're suffering a great pandemic, one of the reasons it has grown to the proportions it has is because a government that is dedicated to preserving itself in spite of all truth has allowed a lie to be perpetuated upon the world. But really, all of humanity is suffering because a great lie was perpetuated on mankind many years ago at the Garden of Eden, when Satan told Adam and Eve, "You will not surely die," and called God the liar. Folks, the devil has been lying ever since, and anyone who believes those lies is destined for eternal damnation, separation from God. But if you will embrace the truth, if you will come to know Jesus Christ, who defined himself as the way, the truth, and the life, you will have eternal life. I hope that even in this pandemic, with the troubles raging all around us, you will see the truth and not be deceived by the lies. Godspeed.